Hey champs, welcome back to my channel. Today we start with Khabib's longtime coach has sparked serious debate after claiming that Jon Jones cannot be considered the GOAT. Jon Jones is widely viewed by many as the greatest fighter of all time, especially when you look at his resume. His only loss in more than 15 years came by disqualification, not by being beaten, and he has held titles at both light heavyweight and heavyweight. Still, Javier Mendez recently explained why he believes Jones is disqualified from that top spot. When asked who he considers the greatest, Mendez said that right now his number one is Islam Makhachev, and for overall greatness, Khabib is his GOAT. He explained that while he would normally include Jon Jones in that conversation, he cannot because of past issues. Mendez said that in any real sport, if you are caught doing something you should not be doing, you pay a price. According to him, you cannot put that athlete ahead of others who competed clean, even if their talent was undeniable. He compared the situation to Olympic sports, where athletes have had gold medals stripped after being caught cheating. Mendez said if that standard applies everywhere else, it should also apply in MMA. He made it clear that he still considers Jon Jones one of the greatest fighters ever, and even admitted that without those issues, Jones would be his clear GOAT. But for Mendez, that line matters. Fans were quick to respond, and not all of them agreed. Some pointed out that members of Khabib's camp have also dealt with controversy. Online comments questioned whether Islam Makhachev had once tested positive, and others mentioned Usman Nurmagomedov as well. In Islam's case, USADA later ruled there was no fault or negligence. Still, critics argued that Jon Jones denied knowingly using PEDs too, making the comparison unavoidable. That said, Khabib himself was never flagged. While the debate raged, one legend who had nothing but praise for Khabib was Don Frye. In a recent interview, Frye said Khabib was everybody's match and that nobody was going to beat him. He described Khabib as 10 feet tall and bulletproof, emphasizing how dominant and inevitable he felt in the cage. Frye also defended the wrestling heavy style that many fans criticize. He said whether people enjoy watching it or not, it is superior, and that fighting styles always evolve. Speaking of that camp, Usman Nurmagomedov defended his PFL lightweight title by choking Alfie Davis out late in the third round. Davis admitted he relaxed with seconds left and then woke up moments later. Afterward, despite past accusations, Davis said that the camp was respectful, even joking with Islam Makhachev, showing no real bad blood remained. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to next news, Conor reacted after a huge brawl broke out during BKFC's latest Knuckle Mania card last Saturday. The event went down in Philadelphia, and while the action inside the ring delivered as expected, things got chaotic in the crowd as well. During the show, a fight erupted in the stands, with multiple fans throwing punches, proving that the fists were not limited to the fighters on the card. Conor, who is a minority owner of BKFC, quickly addressed the situation on social media. His reaction was very on brand. He brushed it off by saying that these things happen, and joked about refereeing it, adding that there should be no weapons or gloves. The response made it clear that Conor was not overly concerned about any negative publicity coming from the incident, and if anything, he seemed amused by it. That relaxed attitude likely comes from the fact that Knuckle Mania was reportedly a massive success overall. According to figures shared by the Mac Life, the event reached over 2 million live viewers and packed more than 18,000 people into the arena. Those numbers represent a huge win for BKFC and showed just how much momentum the promotion has right now. Conor was understandably thrilled with the results, especially since the event went head-to-head with a UFC card airing the same night. He called it a monumental night for Bare Knuckle FC and congratulated everyone involved for pulling off such a successful show. The strong viewership and attendance seemed to validate his belief in the promotion and its growing popularity. As if that was not enough, Conor also used the moment to tease his return to the UFC yet again. He confidently declared that he is still the best and that he plans to prove it. While no official fight has been announced, comments like that continue to keep his name in headlines and fans talking. Between the viral crowd brawl, record-breaking numbers, and another bold statement from Conor, Knuckle Mania ended up being one of the most talked-about combat sports events of the weekend, both inside and outside the ring. Moving on to next news, Jon Jones has shared his reaction to the growing talk around a potential Justin Gaethje versus Ilia fight. Now that Gaethje holds the UFC interim lightweight belt, he has been vocal about wanting a showdown with the champion, Ilia, and has even suggested the fight take place on the rumored White House card. The idea alone has generated massive buzz, but it turns out Jon Jones may not be backing his fellow American if it happens. Recently, Helen Yee caught up with Jones while he was attending a celebrity football match. During their conversation, she asked him who his favorite fighter is to watch right now. Jones first mentioned Anderson Silva, praising him as unbelievable and someone he has always enjoyed watching. However, when it came to current fighters, Jones did not hesitate to single out Ilia. Jones said that Ilia is the fighter who excites him the most at the moment, describing him as pure dynamite. He explained that Ilia's style, confidence, and ability to deliver big moments make him must-watch every time he steps into the cage. The comment stood out, especially considering the ongoing speculation around Ilia potentially facing Gaethje next. When Yee brought up the rumors of Ilia versus Gaethje possibly headlining a UFC White House event, Jones reacted with a laugh. He called the idea crazy and jokingly added, "Sorry, Gaethje." That short response made it pretty clear where his excitement would be focused if the matchup becomes reality. Even without officially picking sides, Jones' words showed a lot of admiration for Ilia and added more fuel to the hype surrounding the fight. With big names reacting and wild venues being discussed, the momentum behind this potential matchup continues to grow. Moving on to next news. Justin Gaethje's knockout loss to Max Holloway at UFC 300 is being talked about again, and this time it is Javier Mendez who is breaking it down. Everyone remembers the moment clearly. With just 1 second left in the fight, Holloway pointed to the center of the octagon and challenged Gaethje to stand and trade. Gaethje accepted, and seconds later, he was knocked out cold in one of the most dramatic finishes in UFC history. While appearing on the Ahmad Mahmoud show, Mendez explained why he believes that decision was a huge mistake. From his perspective as a coach, the objective in a fight is simple. You hit, you move, you mix things up, and you do not stay planted in danger longer than necessary. Mendez said the goal is never to stand still and trade for pride. It is to win. Using that exact moment as an example, Mendez said when Holloway pointed to the floor and said, "Let's go," Gaethje should never have agreed. He openly called it stupid from a strategic standpoint. Mendez admitted it was incredible for the fans and created an unforgettable moment, but as a fight decision, he believes it made no sense. According to him, the smarter response would have been to engage briefly, land shots, change levels, and take Holloway down instead of committing to a full brawl. Mendez emphasized that discipline matters most at the highest level, especially in the final seconds of a fight. One emotional decision can erase 24 minutes of hard work, and that is exactly what happened. Gaethje was moments away from hearing the final horn before everything changed. At the same time, moments like this are also why Gaethje is so beloved by fans. His willingness to accept danger, entertain, and fight without hesitation has defined his career. That split-second choice perfectly represents both the brilliance and the risk that comes with his fighting style, and why his legacy is built on chaos as much as results. Moving on to next news. The MMA community completely went off on Paddy Pimblett after new footage surfaced from the moments just before his fight at UFC 324 against Justin Gaethje. The clip was released showing what Paddy was doing only hours before stepping into the cage, and one specific moment instantly caught the attention of fans. In the video, Paddy is seen casually eating a turkey sandwich, a cookie, and then smashing an entire big bag of Sour Patch Kids. Not just a few either, but enough candy to make people seriously question his preparation and professionalism going into a high-level fight. In the footage, Paddy jokes around while eating, mentioning how he had already consumed a ton of Jolly Ranchers earlier, enough to change the color of his tongue. He laughs it off, saying it is just a bit of carbs and energy, while continuing to snack without much concern. The atmosphere is relaxed, almost like a casual vlog, rather than the tense, focused mindset fans expect from a fighter preparing for a major UFC bout. Someone off-camera reassures him to keep talking and not worry, and Paddy responds confidently, clearly unfazed by the situation. Once this clip hit social media, the reaction was immediate and brutal. Large portions of the MMA community criticized Paddy for being unprofessional, arguing that this kind of behavior could explain why he looked slow and sluggish during the fight. Many fans pointed out that he appeared flat, almost like he was moving underwater, especially early on. Some claimed it looked like a classic sugar crash, suggesting all that junk food right after a tough weight cut drained his energy instead of fueling him. Others went even harder, saying this showed a deeper issue with his lifestyle. Fans accused him of not respecting the sport or his own body, pointing out that he openly vapes, eats trash, and then expects to perform at an elite level. A few comments said his chin will not last long if he keeps treating his body this way, and his durability could fall off quickly. Some even went as far as saying they hope reality catches up to him soon inside the cage. There were also criticisms about his gym environment. Several fans said he might level up if he moved to a gym that actually holds him accountable, with stronger sparring partners and stricter discipline. Even then, many still believe he would not improve enough to compete with the top 10, let alone someone like Ilia. The general feeling was that raw talent and confidence are not enough at this level. By the end of it, the consensus was clear. Fans believe Paddy has all the tools to be great, but without fully locking in and living like a champion, his ceiling will remain limited. The footage only fueled the narrative that his own habits may be holding him back more than any opponent ever could. Moving on to next news. Dustin Jacoby picked up another big stoppage win on Saturday night, and one familiar face from his past was clearly impressed. The man who stopped Jacoby under the glory banner years ago, Alex Pereira, reacted positively while watching the fight back and made sure to give him his respect. Jacoby faced Julius Walker on the UFC's latest Vegas card and delivered a strong performance, finishing the light heavyweight in the second round. The win marked Jacoby's third straight victory and continued his steady rise in the division. His striking looked sharp, composed, and confident, showing clear improvements with every outing inside the octagon. After the fight, Alex Pereira shared his reaction on Instagram while watching the replay. He praised Jacoby's performance, calling it incredible work, and saying it was time to put respect on his name. Pereira added that Jacoby deserves a spot in the rankings, highlighting the nostalgia from their glory kickboxing days. He also pointed out how impressive it is to see Jacoby's evolution while transitioning and succeeding in a completely different sport. Pereira even ended his message with his trademark energy, making it clear he enjoyed what he saw. As for Pereira himself, his future remains somewhat uncertain. There is still no official word on who he will fight next or when he will return to action. Rumors have continued to circulate that he is interested in making a move up to heavyweight, which would be a massive shift and open the door to some intriguing matchups. Adding another twist, it was recently mentioned that Shara Bullet's manager, Rizvan Nurmagomedov, confirmed discussions are taking place regarding a potential wrestling match between Shara and Pereira. While it would not be an MMA bout, the idea alone has sparked attention due to the clash of styles and personalities involved. Between Jacoby's rise, Pereira's praise, and the unusual possibilities surrounding his next move, the light heavyweight picture continues to get more interesting by the week. Moving on to next news, Justin Gaethje has explained exactly why he chose not to lean on his wrestling during his fight with Paddy Pimblett. While speaking with Mighty Mouse, Gaethje broke down the thought process behind his approach and made it clear that the decision was very intentional. According to Gaethje, grappling simply was not necessary to win that fight. When Mighty Mouse asked him directly why he did not grapple more, Gaethje responded by saying that Paddy's kicking did not pose much of a threat. He explained that while Paddy was throwing leg kicks, they lacked real power, and Gaethje felt comfortable walking straight through them. That confidence allowed him to stay focused on pressure and damage instead of changing levels. The conversation then turned toward Gaethje's brief grappling exchanges. Mighty Mouse pointed out moments where Gaethje pulled Paddy's head down and got behind him, asking how safe he felt in those positions. Gaethje admitted that while he was in control, his mindset was simple. He had to win. There was no reason to take unnecessary risks when he was already landing heavy shots and controlling the fight. Gaethje also explained that grappling has always been tricky for him in MMA, even though he wrestled his entire life. He said that every time he puts hooks in during fights, he ends up getting himself into trouble. Because of that, he has made a rule for himself to never put the legs in. He explained that when he gets too high on an opponent's back, he often gives up position, and that is something he refuses to do. Instead, Gaethje prefers to maintain strong positions where he can deal damage without compromising control. He described how he was consistently moving, landing shots, and forcing Paddy to react. From his perspective, he was in such a good spot that changing strategies would have only reduced his advantage. Gaethje also touched on the threat of takedowns in general. He said that when opponents start shooting recklessly, that is when he punishes them with leg kicks and pressure. In this fight, Paddy did try to kick him, but Gaethje felt those strikes were easy to absorb and not impactful enough to change his plan. Overall, Gaethje made it clear that his performance was about discipline and efficiency. He trusted what was working, avoided positions where he historically struggles, and focused on doing damage. For him, the goal was never to showcase wrestling, but to secure the win in the smartest way possible.